Hey guys, it's Simon. This is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Monday, and we're here with the Wrestling Wrap-Up. A handful of news brought to you in one easy-to-watch video. As far as today's stories do go, we are talking about Logan Paul's unfortunate injury at Crown Jewel, talking about Nick Aldis and his issues with the NWA, one WWE superstar has heat, another underwent surgery, and so much more. But with that, kind of a other than Crown Jewel slow weekend. We had the Crown Jewel pay-per-view. All of that went off pretty well. We did our review. We talked about it. I liked the show. I thought the show was pretty good. And then outside of Crown Jewel and the Nick Aldis stuff that broke yesterday, a lot of just not much happened in wrestling weekend, or at least not much happened in wrestling Sunday. I'll say that. Not much happening wrestling Sunday. Kind of a tame Sunday, if you will. But with that, I do want to say thank you if you are watching us live, twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. I also want to say thank you if you're watching or listening later, whether that's youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited or podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below, or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. And remember, it doesn't just have to be your Amazon Prime account. It can be anybody's Amazon Prime account, whether that's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your grandma, your grandpa, your auntie, your uncle, anybody. You take that Amazon Prime account, you take that Twitch account, you link them together, bada bing, bada boom, you're Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and they always give you one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, if you are watching on YouTube, you can help us out over there by hitting the join button to become a channel member. As a channel member, you get early access to news, early access podcast episodes, early access non-news videos, and so much more. Plus, remember, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're buying a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, Fall Guys, or Rumbleverse, which Rumbleverse is starting season 2, so you might want to jump in over there. Use our code right down here. Excuse me, I got something caught in my throat. Code PW Unlimited at checkout for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Again, use code PWU NLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. It doesn't cost you anything extra, whether you're buying a newer game like Sifu, an older game like Grand Theft Auto 5. You're claiming one of the free games that doesn't cost you anything anyways, or you're getting, like I said, the bucks for Fortnite, Rocket League, Rumbleverse, and Fall Guys. Use our code. You'll be supporting us directly. But with that, as far as the show does go, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stories. And correct me in the chat if you're watching live. Nothing's been announced so far for tonight's Raw that I can find. I'm going to go just check WWE's website really quick. Yes, as of right now, it looks like nothing has actually been announced. Bianca, Riddle, Rollins, Lashley, Bayley, and Theory are all advertised for the show locally. That's it. They're in Wilkes-Barre, PA, in the Casey Plaza. Mohegan Sun. They're in Mohegan Sun. Okay. Let me check one other thing on WWE. Like I said, as of going live, they hadn't announced anything for tonight's Raw. Let me check their Twitter really fast. And then we will get going. Yeah, no. Nothing so far announced for tonight's show. But with that, let's jump into the first story that unfortunately has to do with Logan Paul being injured. Logan Paul was injured in his match this weekend with Roman Reigns. That was a phenomenal match. This match with Roman Reigns was holy crap good. Like it had, and I'm harping beating a dead drum here, I guess you call it, because I said this a bunch on Saturday. This match had no right to be as good as it was, but it was like it can main event any WrestleMania. I'm just gonna say that this match could main event any WrestleMania. And unfortunately, Logan Paul said that he injured his knee halfway through the match. So I thought maybe the buckshot spot or something. By the way, when he landed and then did the clothesline, his leg kind of like shot out from under him. But according to Dave Meltzer on Saturday's Wrestling Observer Radio, he stated that Logan Paul was actually injured on the table spot where he dove off the top rope and crashed through Roman Reigns on the announce table. So if that was the spot where Logan Paul was injured, then it wasn't halfway through the match. It was actually kind of far along to where he only did one, I want to say, other thing after that. Two, technically. He did the dive to the outside onto the Usos, and then he jumped back in, got speared and Superman punched by Roman, and the match ended. So they go crashing through the table, if that is the actual spot he was injured at. They go crashing through the table, and then him and Roman lay there while the Usos and the Entourage and Jake and Solo go at it for a good couple of minutes. And so he said on his Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat that he was under the impression that he tore his ACL, tore his MCL, and may have tore his meniscus. Now, Meltzer, along with WWE, also said meniscus, MCL, maybe ACL. So we'll see. He posted on his, and I could check his Snapchat really fast. He posted on Snapchat yesterday that he was undergoing the MRI, and that was the last snap I saw from him. So let me go to Logan Paul on Snapchat. Oh, you don't need the audio. And let's just see really quickly. There's a bunch of highlights from the match. Highlights. Okay, I've seen this. Okay. Just pray for me. I can show you guys this on the screen. He says, pray for me, undergoing the MRI. He said, I've gotten so many MRIs in my life. Then he sent out a picture of Roman with him in a chin lock, and he says, last night was a movie. And that was it. So this was the last thing Logan Paul posted on his Snapchat, at least. Last night was a movie. And so we don't have any updates as of this morning that I have seen. But his right leg completely destroyed at the knee. MCL for sure. He said ACL for sure. WWE said possibly ACL. He said possibly meniscus. WWE said meniscus. So we'll see what it all ends up being. Again, he did undergo a MRI yesterday, and no one's reported, or we haven't heard anything on the injury, but hopefully he can come back sooner rather than later. Because after Saturday, like, from what we've seen from Logan Paul, I'm liking this dude. I'm really liking this dude. And then when we saw Saturday, I go, when's he coming back? Put him in War Games. Put him in the Rumble. We need him back. We need him back. We need him back. And if he's got such a bad knee injury, it's a while. It's a while. If it's ACL, 7 months at least. 6, 7 months. And meniscus, depending on if he doesn't need surgery, that's 6 weeks. I know that because I tore my meniscus. I tore mine to the point where it was like borderline needing surgery. So they casted it for 6 weeks. No, it was 8 weeks I was in the cast. From my upper thigh all the way to my toes, I had a cast. And fortunately, I didn't need to undergo surgery. Whole skateboarding accident. Went to do a ollie off of a concrete driveway into some dirt. And the skateboard flew out from under me. My body twisted and just boom, crashed right on the concrete. Didn't hurt at the moment, so I kept on skating. Not a good skater, so I fell a couple more times. And then 3 days later is when I finally started feeling pain. Went to put my bike away. We hung them up in the garage, and I lifted the bike just barely off the ground. My knee gave out, and I'm like, I can't move. So for him to possibly have a torn meniscus and do a dive and then jump back in the ring and do those moves with Roman, like, holy crap. I couldn't walk when I tore my meniscus. He tore his meniscus, possibly ACL, MCL, all that stuff. Like, I can't even fathom. Can't even fathom. So we'll see how that all does go with Logan Paul, and we'll keep you guys up to date as much as we can. As we move on to our next story, though, this has to do, it's a two-parter, has to do with Nick Aldis and the NWA. Now, PWU Insider originally reported that Nick Aldis' deal with the NWA is set to expire in January of 2023, and that there are issues between the two, and the issues are legitimate. They're due to creative direction of the company, not just like creative direction of Aldis in the NWA. Aldis is upset with the creative direction of the actual company. Now, in a now deleted video, former two-time NWA World Champion Nick Aldis posted on Instagram Sunday that he has given the NWA his notice and he will not be re-signing with the company. According to those who saw the video, Aldis said that he and the NWA owner William Patrick Corgan have had their differences and that the organization has got so embarrassing that he can't be part of it any longer. So that all came out yesterday. It was a news story for an hour, and then people just skimmed right by it. Well, then this morning, the NWA put out their own statement, basically suspending the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, stating, quote, pursuant to recent comments made by Nick Aldis. And I just lost the quote. Here we go. Let's restart that. Pursuant to recent comments made by Nick Aldis, the National Wrestling Alliance has suspended Aldis from the main roster, and effective immediately, Aldis will not appear for the Hard Times 3 pay-per-view and Revolution Rumble television tapings in New Orleans, Louisiana on November 12th, 2022 and November 13th, 2022. As such, the National Wrestling Alliance reserves its right to comment on this matter at a future date. The NWA Chief Operating Officer Joe Galli later said that it is unclear if Aldis will be scheduled for the company's television tapings in December, as he stated this is not a wrestling angle. Aldis also responded to an article regarding the NWA not running an all-female event, stating, if some of you are wondering whether stuff like this is factored into my decision to give my notice, you'd be correct. Also, the NWA put out a release to fans in New Orleans who are hoping to possibly see Aldis, stating, sorry to disappoint. Or no, Aldis put this statement out. Sorry to disappoint, but I was removed from the shows this weekend after giving my notice. I fully intend to fulfill my obligations to the audience, but unfortunately the company doesn't seem to share the same values. So, yeah, we'll see where this all goes, but as of right now, Nick Aldis is set to leave the NWA in January. He's unhappy with the direction of the company, and because he spoke out about that, they have now suspended him. I don't know what that entails, whether that's suspended, just you're not working shows, or suspended without pay. I don't know, but he's not working the shows coming up this weekend in New Orleans. I mean, we saw during an appearance on Busted Open Radio back in January, Aldis revealed that he signed a contract extension with the NWA. He was also scheduled to challenge Trevor Murdoch for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship at the 75th anniversary show, and was then later replaced by Tyrus. I don't know if that has anything to do with any of this as well, and that's just like the first straw that we saw. So, yeah, there's a lot going on with Nick Aldis and the NWA. I don't know exactly what Nick Aldis does next. Like, maybe he goes to AEW. Maybe he goes to WWE. Maybe he goes back to Impact, where his wife is currently. I don't know what will be next for the former World Heavyweight Champion. But, I mean, any company would be lucky to pick up a Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis is great. I get why. So there are some people that go, he's a little boring. I get it, because he's trying to be like that old school guy, the old school world champion from the 70s and 80s, where he doesn't have to do a lot. He doesn't have to be too, over the top or anything. He's just like, I'm the best. You all know I'm the best. What more do I have to prove kind of guy. So I get where people can say, oh, I'm bored of Nick Aldis. I think he's great, though. Nick in the live chat says, all this talking is like listening to a brick wall, but I guess he's fine in the ring. He said, I don't know, man. If Cody couldn't get the fucked. What? Hold on. Let me read this from Nick again in the live chat. He said, I don't know, man. If Cody couldn't get that fucked fucker over, I don't know what can. Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay, gotcha. That fucked fucker there got me for a second, though. So he's not working the shows. We don't know if he's going to work anything else. And just like Joe Galley said, it's up in the air if he's going to work December for the company. So yeah, not much more on that. It's like a 2-day story so far, and they're all saying it's not a storyline. It's not a work. It's real heat between the two sides, Nick Aldis' side and the company. Also, Nick, do we need to make that a shirt or something? Fuck the fucker. He says, the NWA is a joke, man. They got to close up shop. Let Billy go back to the Smashing Pumpkins. Well, I listen to a lot of iHeartRadio, and he's got a new podcast on iHeartRadio that they're plugging like hell. It's called like 33 with William Patrick Corgan. And like every time one of the podcasts I listen to on iHeartRadio goes to commercial, boom, there's a podcaster who goes, I'm William Patrick Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins, and I'm here with I think it's Joe Galley of the NWA and others. And I'm like, damn, they're really pushing this Billy Corgan podcast hard. And it's always William Patrick Corgan, 33 with William Patrick Corgan. Like he's got to go full name, not just Billy Corgan, William Patrick Corgan. We're moving forward. We said Nick Aldis and the NWA have issues, maybe some heat between the two. You know who's got heat? It's all Adam Shear, Braun Strowman, the monster among monsters, after a tweet he sent out after Crown Jewel stating, Wait, where's the tweet? The tweet, oh no. The tweet gone? I no longer see the tweet on his Twitter. It was literally there before we went live. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, man. Did Strowman delete the tweet? Let's see. Hold on. No way. The big controversial Braun Strowman tweet may have just been deleted in the last 40 minutes. Hold on. All right, now we need to go do some deep dive digging. If anybody sees it and I'm just not seeing it for some reason, put it in the live chat, please. The tweet from Braun Strowman. Let me go see if I can find it through here. Yes, Strowman in the last 30 to 40 minutes deleted the tweet. The big controversial tweet has been deleted by Braun Strowman. Wow. All right. Well, I know I can get the quote from here. Give me 1 second. I know where I can find. I know what website wrote up something about it. So give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, Strowman deleted the tweet. Wow. Let's go here. Come on, where is it? I know it's here somewhere. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I think I found it. So Strowman originally tweeted, quote, "Holy hell." And give me 1 second. Holy hell. The Giant Omos. Can you believe we got 47 5 stars and reminded the people that no one cares about all these floppy floppers. Giants and monsters greater than flippy flippers. Bag your groceries at Kroger. Hashtag airport test. Hashtag size is the prize. Hashtag swole is the goal. And I saw that tweet yesterday. I'm like, oh, he's goofing around, whatever. And then wrestlers in the company get mad about this tweet. More specifically, Ali and Ricochet, both tweeting at him, where Ali basically just tweeted, quote, "Can you teach me how to get fired?" Like, holy crap. Really? Really? So when they responds to Ali saying, "Aren't you the one that's always sitting and catering?" And Ali says back to the fan, "Was definitely in the kitchen cooking you." And then if I could pull up the Ricochet comment on this as well. Ricochet tweeted, "Just don't ask him to stand on a scale or he'll threaten to sue you. Ha ha ha." I don't know what that is in reference to. It's a weird quote, but yeah. Still interesting, though, that tweet from Strowman was eliminated. He's also got other tweets. Picture of him and Omos from the show. It's his best match ever. And then he posted a video earlier today of him in a trampoline park doing a backflip. And it just says, "How many stars? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Am I doing it right? Heat magnet, troll killer, flippy floppy. Do you like me now?" We didn't delete that one. Like I said, right before we went live, the tweet was there. We've been live at this point now for about 20, 30 minutes. But now the tweet is gone, which is very interesting. Very interesting. I wonder why. Was it him that decided to delete the tweet? Highly doubt it. Was it WWE that said, "Hey, delete the tweet"? So, Saturday says, "Man, he could really do a backflip." Yeah, he could really do a backflip. A lot of big men can do backflips, though. I mean, look at Brian Cage. Brian Cage do flips. So, we'll see what happens with all of this as the story just got a little more interesting with Braun Strowman deleting that tweet. As we move on to story number 4, Natalya has revealed that she had to undergo a little bit of a surgery to fix her dislocated broken nose. Natalya took to Twitter, posted a picture of her at the hospital, and stated, quote, "We moved my dislocated nose back to the center of my face where it belongs. I love the shape of my nose, and it will stay the same. Thank goodness. Can finally breathe again. Pain is beauty." She posted that this morning. Now, I don't know. Now, the whole thing where she got kicked in the nose by Shayna Baszler and her nose was broke. We still don't know if that's real or not. She, what's the word? I'm pretty sure it's real because this picture from her at the hospital looks very real. Anyways, that was a week and a half ago. So I don't know if she immediately went and got her nose fixed. She's all bloody in this picture. Or if she actually waited to get her nose fixed till just today. But regardless, suffered a broken nose on SmackDown. Had to get the nose fixed, and we'll see how long it's going to keep her out of action. We'll know pretty quickly because Natty works just about every house show. So if she's on a SmackDown this week, and then not on the house shows, then we'll know that this is why she's out of action. So just thought I would bring that little update to you guys. As we move forward, speaking of women in WWE, we've got an update on Chelsea Green possibly coming back to the company. Fightful put out the following stating, quote, "Fightful has confirmed WWE has expressed interest in another woman's talent. Recently, WrestleVotes and PW Insider both reported that WWE had expressed interest in bringing back Chelsea Green. Green was released by WWE in late 2020. And spent her time away competing for the NWA, Impact, and Ring of Honor, all without signing an actual contract. Fightful was also told that Green was one of many female names discussed to come back to the company, though we haven't been told that a deal is official or that a return date is set as of yet. Those that we spoke to said that WWE was hoping to restock the women's division with several TV-ready, experienced women's wrestlers. Emma returned recently, and Fightful revealed that the company had interest in bringing Tegan Nox in as well. Fightful reached out to Green, who claimed she hadn't been contacted for a return and noted that she still has NWA, WrestleCade, and other indie bookings scheduled through March 2023. So this is just another wrinkle in the whole, WWE might be interested in Chelsea Green. And that's all it is, might be interested. We've heard a lot of names, like noted in this report. Tegan Knox. Also, Fightful's been putting out there that they're interested in bringing back Mia Yim, which would be a smart move. And so all it is a wait and see. And it's just more confirmation that WWE is interested in bringing back Chelsea Green. But the big thing is, like, what faith is there? You can say, well, Vince did nothing with her. Yeah, well, Triple H also did nothing with her in NXT. Put her with Robert Stone. She came up to the main roster, got hurt, and then she was released. So it's like, you can say, well, in NXT they did this, and Hunter was in charge there, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. But, and the same goes with Deonna Purrazzo. Hunter did nothing with either of them in NXT, to be honest. Nothing. So it's like, when she comes back to WWE, unlike others like Hit Row, for instance, where Triple H we know loved, I almost don't have a lot of faith in if Triple H will actually use her well or not. Like, I'm being completely honest. But moving forward to our next news story, looks like some Raw superstars are scheduled to be at SmackDown this week, according to Mike Johnson over at PW Insider. Just a little quick hit. He says WWE Undisputed Champion Roman Reigns is scheduled for this Friday Night SmackDown in Indianapolis, but also Raw superstars Matt Riddle and the entire Judgment Day. Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, and Rhea Ripley are slated to be at Friday's tapings as well. It's unclear exactly what these men and women will be doing, but as of right now, they are slated for the show. Very cool. Probably just dark match stuff, though. Usually when a Raw superstar is scheduled for a SmackDown, they're working the dark match, which is weird to bring them in to work the dark match when you got SmackDown people that can work the dark matches that are not working SmackDown. I don't know. As we move forward, we've got another story here for you. There's some of this stuff off my screen really fast. Omos not scheduled to be at tonight's Monday Night Raw. TMZ has a story stating that after Crown Jewel this weekend in Saudi Arabia, Omos actually went back home to Nigeria to visit family that he hasn't seen in almost 15 years. So that's a little quick hit. We had a lot of quick hits on the show today, as far as Omos will not be on Monday Night Raw as he went back home. Wild One Grim Reaper in the chat says, why they just released talent. Basically, it was a progression thing. If you're not progressing to the levels that they want you to be progressing, they're going to release you. They're going to say bye-bye. And the final news story here is more of just not news, but an interesting story that kind of backs up other claims from earlier in the year that, yes, WWE used Mickie James in the Women's Rumble and acknowledged that she was the Impact Knockouts Women's Champion. And there are rumors that WWE was interested in some men for that kind of a thing as well, but according to WrestleVotes, that was not the case, as WrestleVotes stated the following. WrestleVotes states, it was never on the table for it to be anybody from AEW. That I know for sure. They agreed to have Mickie James wearing the Impact title. So I know the idea was, quote, if we do it in the women's, shouldn't we do it in the men's, end quote. For what I understand, a list of 4 or 5 guys was presented, and Vince didn't like any of them. So that's where it ended. Vince doesn't know every single wrestler outside of WWE, so when this list was presented, there was nothing that jumped out at him. I'm not even quite sure he recognized the 4 or 5 or 6 guys that they said probably do this with. So basically, there's a lot of rumors going around earlier this year in January. Oh, Mickey's going to be in the Women's Rumble. Well, then what guy is going to be in the Men's Rumble from outside of WWE? And there was names given to Vince, but there was never any plan for it. Vince never said, yeah, let's try and get this guy, and things fell through. No, it was more of, hey, Vince, here's some names. And Vince said, nah, I don't want any of them. And it possibly came down to Vince not knowing who any of them are. I know there was rumors, people were like, they should get Moose, or they should get someone from Ring of Honor, or that's no longer with Ring of Honor, and this and that, and da-da-da. But there was nothing. Vince never said yes to any of them. They never pursued any men. They never pursued anybody but Mickey. And there we go. We still don't know why they did the Mickey thing. But it'll be interesting to see where that leads to, if anything, next year, if they get another woman from outside the company that's with another company, or if they do it in the men's match. So maybe they get someone from Japan. Maybe that's like the deal. Noah gets Nakamura. We get somebody from Noah for the Rumble or whatnot. Maybe. Just saying. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. Or if you're watching or listening later, whether that's youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, or podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, tonight's Monday Night Raw if you're watching this on Monday, and we'll be back tonight talking about everything that went down tonight on Raw. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your Monday. Hopefully it stops raining here because my son's got soccer tryouts, and if it rains, they might cancel the tryouts. So my afternoon's kind of up in the air right now, but hopefully the rest of you guys have a great afternoon. We'll see you later for Monday Night Raw. Have a good one, guys.